Right, sorry, and hello, and welcome to the RT Oireachtas legislative session, and we're already starting it off with a point of order from the Leader of the Opposition, Brian Kearney. I don't know, is this the motion of confidence against... I believe this is the motion of confidence against the government. Um, Please, anyone, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But, I mean, Oscar's already told him to shut up, so I would have thought that would
Good
be...
start.
Yeah, would have thought that'd be a point of order, but... Oh, okay, I can screen share the stage. Um, Hold on. But there you are. I mean, some notable news I've already uncovered today is Australia 0513 has entered themselves into the Social Democrats leadership election. So the only two candidates that are recorded are both Epic Noah and Australia 0513. So I mean, either one of them will be seen as the leader of the Social Democrats and potentially our next Taoiseach. You know, we'd have to see how the Social Democrats do in the next election. But I mean, this next leader could be deciding whether they even considered an option as government in the next election. Now, speaking as someone who knows quite a lot about Noah, he's a deputy leader. He currently works as the Minister of Foreign Affairs or Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Again, he is already deputy leader and has worked quite closely with Oscar in various places within Ireland. But this is currently being debated. The motion of confidence in the government is currently being debated. And I'm going to quickly get up our graphics here. Hold on, that's the wrong... But yes, currently Taoiseach is opening the floor to the debate, I believe. Right, I believe we now have Brian Kearney, leader of the opposition, which I still cannot believe he's gotten into. Um, Immediately debating back. Brian begins saying the silly Social Democrats and the lying Labour Party. I mean, he was a Social Democrat leader not 4 months ago, I'm pretty sure. Um, Actually, talking... Oh, didn't realise Leave's gone. No, Brian isn't actually in the studio right now, but I mean, if he wants to join the stage and say something, if someone wants to let him know that in the door. He's been told to sit down by the CC, but usually the CC just has to stand and everyone should sit down. Again, the quality of the orators has very much gone down. He's now being asked to rephrase or withdraw the words "lying Labour." He says it isn't your choice to dictate what I say in the chamber. You're meant to be apolitical. You're having enough difficulty regarding that recently. I think this is going to be another ejection for Brian, but I believe Leo will probably be a lot more lenient than Wilberforce was. Wilberforce, whatever. I mean, we did see Will. It was almost immediate that he had been ejected. Quickly going to see if Mr. Sunday will be joining us today. But yes, again, this is currently the motion of confidence against the government of Ireland. Oh, apologies for that. Currently waiting for anyone else to rise in debate. I'm surprised that I'm not sure if Fine Gael actually rose. They might have done, but I'd be surprised if Fine Gael doesn't at least say something, considering they are the ones who raised this motion of confidence. JJ is being asked to withdraw or rephrase. The Tanistor is not mentally ill. No, is mentally ill. I apologise for what was said by him. You have the leader of the opposition saying that the Can caller looks very political here, and asks if she's considered resignation. I mean, I would hope Brian isn't able to bully another CC out of, or isn't able to bully the CC out of her chair. Now the minister's been asked to withdraw the word commie, which according to the standing orders. And there's not much to report on today. We don't even have, again, we don't have Bo here, I think. If Bo is here, please raise your hand. No, she isn't. Um, she's in the chamber though. We now have JJ rising. I believe he's been asked to withdraw something. Even though I believe he already did. Ah, this is a point of order. Yeah, there's not much to report on here. But, I mean, just considering JJ's track record, I don't believe he'll get ejected from the session. But, I believe now Brian is being asked to withdraw his words. Lying Labour, because he did not withdraw previously. He says he withdraws under distress, which I think is a nod to duress, which I believe means under pressure, but don't quote me. Now there's another point of order. I mean, I'm not sure if this is just a trend with Brian. Actually, I'm not allowed to speculate, but we have had quite a lot of points of orders now. Oswald has said that the opinion of Brian O'Kearney about the Labour Party is not in violation of the standing orders, and that he suggests the CC educates herself on it. Oswald continues saying he used an adjective of a political party, which is his view, which should not have been censored in the duel. Um, Now, if I review the Oireachtas server, I'm pretty sure it specifically states using words like liar, communist, etc. specifically are not allowed. Just gonna quickly take a look. Um, yes, you cannot accuse someone being communist, hypocrite, liar, or a terrorist. Now we have Oswald and Leah both battling it out. Now move back over to the leader of the Social Democrats, no, former leader of the Social Democrats, but anti-shock. Oh, never mind. We now have the minister Sid being asked to withdraw his comment saying lying Fine Gael, and he withdraws. And now finally, I believe Oscar will be given his chance. I don't know why Oscar likes to wear this parrot. I don't know if I had a parrot, I'd probably bring him to the door as well. Oswald has now raised the motion to adjourn, and there's been a second. Was there not a bill to vote on? If there's not a bill to vote on, then no, there are bills to vote on. Why are they trying to adjourn? So there are four. No, there are three other things to be discussed in the duel today. Composition of the Courts of Ireland, the bill presented by the Shannon first. The Ministerial Order on Mass Deregistration of Companies. Not sure what that's about. And the Freedom of Information Bill, which was tabled today by the government. Question now being asked if we adjourn, the government is not agreeing, but the opposition is agreeing. Apart from Bo, who has said that she does not agree. A vote all has been called. Members will now move into the chambers to vote. As members move in to vote, I mean, it's a very confusing order for the opposition to make. We're 16 minutes into the session and they've already tried to raise a motion to adjourn. Now, this is would be somewhat normal considering there's a motion of confidence and the opposition wants to get voting on it as soon as possible. However, there are still other items to discuss, such as bills and other items such as the ministerial order on mass deregistration of companies, proposed by the Minister Scripted Sid, who is the Minister for Businesses. Can't remember the rest. But, yeah. I believe it is just, I believe the mass deregistration bill is just to say that these businesses will be deregistered, which is required, I believe, for a mass deregistration, which was probably introduced under a step. Oh, hold on. I did not know Jesse was a clerk now. There's now a motion to revoke being raised by the leader of the opposition. but the leader of the opposition can deny it. But there's now been a second. Now, this is very common. I would say this is something I've very commonly seen by Brian O'Kearney specifically, who I would say has delayed sessions quite a lot by raising these points. Um, I'm just trying to understand the situation that's currently happening here. On Sunday, I didn't realise you were here. Not sure if you're just tuning in or what, but hello, Sunday.
Hello.
Oh, you should have raised your hand or something. I didn't realise. Oh, I believe the door has just entered a temporary suspension. Do we know why? Very confused.
Okay. What passed? What are they on?
Well, there's still an motion of confidence, but the opposition has raised a motion to adjourn, I assume, so they can vote on it quickly. I would assume
Um,
that it fails.
did they not do the deregistration first?
No, that's not being done yet. I believe it will be done in 2 items.
There is actually, this is an inside scoop for RTE, but we don't know if we have to pass that in the Shannon or not, and we have to go to the courts to find out because there's two contradicting laws that say it only has to be done in the Dáil, and then there's another one that says it has to be done in the Dáil and the Shannon. So it might take a while to
Oh, the
to
motion to
actually
adjourn
happen.
failed. Sorry about that. Hold on.
Please get that rotten woman out of the frame.
Okay, right. By the way, I just want to say, I would say for a better viewing experience with graphics, tune into the stream because we've recently added graphics there. Got items that are happening in the duel, which are displayed in large, and then other items that are happening are displayed in the lower bar, and we also have the time available to all of you, in case you can't read the clocks in the back there.
Daniel, what happened to your clan amendment? Where'd that go?
I decided not to propose it because there were too many issues with it for me to be happy. I wouldn't be able to fix them, and I just won't be happy to raise a bill like that and for it to pass. The main
Yeah, I was
issues.
told that there was a lot of problems with it, but I wasn't told as nice as that. I was told I had to try and stop it, but I couldn't.
By who?
So what were you changing? What were you trying to change?
I was trying to actually legislate the leadership positions, like the chief. Hold on, I need to remember the name.
The Chief Herald?
Yeah, the chief herald and secretary of the clans. I actually outlined what their duties were, because that's not in the original bill. Also outlined how they got appointed, which again wasn't in the original bill. Um,
What's the original bill called?
just the Clans of Ireland bill. And
Ah,
I also introduced clan manners, which would allow clans to have their own private properties. It would also prevent people from registering businesses within a clan's name without their permission. It also outlined the usernames and display names, whether you'd be allowed to use a username or display name within a clan. The basis was that anyone in a clan had to at least have either the username or display name contain their clan name, but the head of the clan, the chief of the clan, chieftain, must have it in their username and display name. But then other items I added, it allowed clans to host events. Oh, and I've got to bring up the entire bill now. Apologies, give me just a second. Right, it would have, yeah, chief element secretary of clans. It would actually legislate the clan archives, which I was told by Jeremy to remove. We also had the disciplinary actions, which again weren't in the original bill. So it allowed the board of the clans of Ireland to issue warnings, suspensions, or sanctions against a clan. Um, it also allowed for clans to establish their own archives. It properly legislated what a clan Tanishta would look like, so it would actually be recognised, say the chieftain went on a leave of absence, this would actually be recognised as someone who led the clan at the time. There are also a multitude of privileges that were introduced. So, like I said, clans can own a private manor. It also allowed clans to designate days, clan days, which would just be specific to their clans. Um, it would just give clans to do. It was my kind of view. You could also petition the president on cultural, ceremonial, administrative matters. It would also allow chiefs to officially document themselves as chief of clan name or the clan name chief. Then they could also establish ranks, officers, etc. within their clans. It also introduced a meeting of the clans, which would allow the clans to. It would actually enforce the clans to meet up, or at least the board of the clans of Ireland, to establish meetings so people would actually turn up. Well, no, they do have the option of removing it, and it wasn't a must. No one had to attend, but again, just something that the clans of Ireland should consider. There were also events that can just be done at any time with their own themes, events, objectives, or contests within the clans. And finally, the chartered clans were added, which we basically said clans who demonstrate 1 year of continued activity, contributions, and a recipient of the Clan of Honour may be given the optional chartered clan title, which basically allows the chief of the clan to refer to themselves as chief of the chartered clan. It also just allowed the clan to be referred to as the chartered clan. Again, this was more of a ceremonial thing, just to say your clan has done extraordinary things. It also established an event where, and could actually give them a charter of recognition, which I'm very proud of that document, actually. I'll send it in general chat for anyone who wants to look at it. But anyway, that's enough boring you with it. So basically, my idea was it just gave people more things to do with the clans, which I just felt there wasn't at the time.
Okay, yeah, that just sounds very complicated. I can see why it's not being going ahead with.
Lots of people told me it shouldn't be legislated, is what got told a lot.
Who said that? Was
Um, I think I had both Oswald and Jeremy both tell me that I shouldn't be. I know Jeremy definitely told me it shouldn't be legislated, but I'm
Oswald.
not sure about Oswald. He might have done, or Foss.
Why are you listening to him?
I wanted to get the opinions of everyone in the chamber. I will say he very quickly shut down any conversation or counterpoints, but I don't judge.
Oh, he doesn't like you. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I'm very confused as to what's happening in the door. We're still stuck on the confidence vote.
Well, we only have like one bill to get through in the Shannon day, so.
Well, the freedom of information. Yeah, that would be the only.
Oh, being offered an ad slot on RTE election.
I will refuse to record election night if people try advertising on RTE. I'm not doing that.
Well, you're the head of production is the one saying that.
They can find someone else to record. I'm fed up of having all my roles taken away on election night. I'm not even guaranteed
Are you
presenter anymore.
telling the boss to fuck off?
Well, the unfortunate thing is he's been appointed by Lewis, so and it's not like Karma can just turn around and say no, we're firing you.
Strike. Go on strike. Do you hate him?
No, I like him, I respect him, but it's like I would say he hasn't done his research on how
Sounds like you
previous
hate him,
election
Dan.
nights. No, because he hasn't done the research on previous election nights. He doesn't know who records. He doesn't know anything like that. I already know these things, and I managed the previous election night. And I'd say, other than the fact it was delayed until 10 p.m., I would say I managed it quite alright. I
For a
mean,
very good reason. For a very, very good reason.
that's debatable. But I don't.
The Supreme Court thought it wasn't debatable.
I think it should have just triggered the leadership election, and that would have been it. But it was noted by Lewis in the official ruling that we could just the National Executive Committee could just remove it. So that's what we did. We just
Yeah,
said
because
that
they
it was
knew I was
illegitimate.
right, but the deep state didn't want to upset the balance.
He wouldn't have lost the election anyway. He later sent out a poll asking if people would have were unhappy with what the NEC did, and it was an overwhelming. It would have been like 95% people agreed with what the NEC did. So
So he chose the people to vote, and he got the results he wanted. That's all I'm hearing.
I think everyone got the results they wanted at the end of the day,
That's the
apart
problem.
from the Labour Party.
The Labour Party that you're in government with now. What did
Well,
they
the
not
the
get?
the Labour Party that whatever her name was, Rachel was leading. Oh, has he been ejected? Oh, okay. The leader of the opposition was ejected. Um, I'm gonna quickly
Again.
say. I just want to quickly point out. Let me take a look.
Oh,
There was a statement from the leader. Oh, what's happened?
JJ's walked out.
Oh, okay. There's been a second.
Good
There's
on
been a
him.
statement made by the leader of the opposition sent to my DMs. He says the CC must resign or we will force her out quickly. I remind you, this is coming from Brian O'Kearney, so maybe take that with a grain of salt. I've been told by another TD that they're banging their head against the desk in game. I don't blame them. This is the worst the duel has been since I would say the government Fianna Fáil led.
What?
No, no, no. I
Excuse
think
you?
I
What
think
do you
that
mean?
that time period was very bad for the Oireachtas. We had a lot of like point of orders just thrown around. It wasn't just Fianna Fáil. I make it sound like I'm blaming Fianna Fáil. I just mean within that time frame there was a lot of point of orders, and that's not specifically to blame for Fianna Fáil. I mean the Social Democrats were equally as guilty of it. But
I
I
think
think
the Greens were the worst.
I don't know. I didn't see many from the Green Party. I didn't even think there were. No, because the Green Party was in
Pretty
coalition.
much.
I don't remember them actually doing quite much in that coalition.
Yeah, no, they were awful. Oh my god. I would have wanted to coalition with literally anyone else, but they had the numbers, so went with them.
It was a very interesting coalition. You had like it was basically a supermajority. I think. So I'm trying to think.
It was 7 plus 9, so it was only 15.
Oh,
And that's only if the Greens showed up, but they didn't half the time.
I think I don't know if you could call this a supermajority. I think it's very shy because that is 17 seats held by the government. So I think that is just shy of a supermajority.
What do you mean by supermajority?
As in, like
66%?
two thirds of the, or 66%. Yeah,
Um,
I think they're very close. If not, they are over it.
5
Um,
divided by 3.
has JJ just walked back in? I think JJ walked back in and then got kicked.
um,
I
no, that is a 2/3 majority.
so yeah. I mean, if the Labour Party and the Social Democrats work together fiercely on this, I was actually
For the
speaking.
past 2 weeks. I don't know why. Oisin just decided at the very end to throw it all away and go into government with the Social Democrats.
I think 6 weeks ago it would have been very controversial, but now we're getting so close to an election, I would assume no one really minds anymore. Because a lot of those voters that Labour had were supposedly imports. Believe what you will, but I would say a lot of their voters aren't active anymore. Obviously, we don't
Same's
know.
going to happen with the Social Democrats once Oscar leaves. All those Pirate Party people, they're not going to be interested in it.
I will say I'm very interested to see where Ireland goes because again, I'm extremely
In-
biased in this, but
It's already in the gutter, actually.
I think Oscar he did bring back some sort of activity. Whether you can attribute that to him or not
I
is
disagree
debatable.
entirely.
But
It's gone the opposite way.
I'm not from the previous government. You're also going to be biased in this because you were the Taoiseach of the previous government. But I do believe
No,
that
in my day, back in my day, we had quite an active community, actually. I won't say it's all me, but there'd be multiple people, many people, hundreds of thousands of messages happening in general channel and everything.
I
And
will
then
say
when Oscar came in after a week, we had like 900 messages a day. It was awful. No one wanted to. It was boring. That's what it was. He made it boring.
I think Yorkist was a very big contributor to that time because I think he was here under you. Um,
Like halfway through.
yeah, so you can't just attribute it all to him, but you if you look at the statistics, according to them, you were very successful in terms of activity in general chat because whether that can be attributed to you or not, again, can't say for sure. But we had more people speaking. Like I think I had 5,000 messages sent in 1 week. Yorkers had 6,000, so it was easily over 11,000 messages. And I don't think anyone even sends 1,000 messages daily anymore. So
Just two biggest shadows in our community gone.
I think the I think Oscar has been most successful in trying to achieve the goal of trying to make a more active Ireland. I think he's definitely
I can't
tried for
really
it,
tell you
but
what Oscar has achieved this term. This has been the most boring term ever. Uh,
I
do
suppose
you,
it's better than a
you're in the
term
Social
where
Democrats.
nothing.
Could you say some important things that your government has achieved this
Well,
term?
important is variable between different people. I think one thing that the government
In your
has,
opinion,
then, in my opinion, I think something very major that the government has done is brought back the IDF. I mean, you can say that they haven't, but again, you can't say who it's attributed to. But I would say if you look at the statistics again, under the Social Democrats, the IDF has actually gone up in numbers. Furthermore, the motorsport thing was established. I'm not sure how many server members that has. I would assume well over 20.
I
And
said
then,
major.
okay, major. Again, it just varies between what you perceive as major. I think we've had a very major thing in foreign affairs. We've got a lot of people in foreign affairs who are actually doing things now. He definitely has worked against. He said he's worked against the bureaucracy in Ireland, and I would say in some ways he succeeded, but in other ways he's failed. I mean, he did also remove the Minister for the Interior, something he promised he was going to do. I'm not sure if he's removed it from the Minister's Act, but I know he hasn't appointed one at all this term. So I think we've had a lot less ministers in general. Um,
A
and
lot less active ministers in
no,
general.
no, a lot.
You have the Minister of Justice, he's done nothing. The Minister for Communities, Culture and Language, I think he just got replaced, but he had done nothing.
That
What
is
are the other
somewhere I
ministers?
will agree with, but
You can't even say the other ministers because I have no idea who they are. Let me
again, I will
um
quickly say,
Minister for Defence. I think the IDF got active in spite of Oswald, not because of Oswald. Oswald just said we need a proactive and a strong political agenda to get the IDF back on its feet. and then the only thing he was doing behind doors was having arguments with the chief of staff and trying to get him to write reports. More bureaucracy. So the Minister for Defence did nothing this term.
That, as an
Minister for
officer,
Business,
no, not
Enterprise and
officer.
Innovation, that was scripted Sid, or it is scripted Sid.
Yeah.
It seems to be the what is it, the Chief Register? I think that's the title. He's the one who's doing most of the work, and it's been very controversial that
Yeah,
they,
his
like a
work
month
is,
ago,
yeah.
they tried to deregister the entire things, and they're only getting around to it now to actually do it legally. Um, that's all the Tánaiste stuff. That's just Usheen. He didn't decide to take an actual portfolio. Um,
I mean,
to
regarding what you said against the Justice Minister, again, I really believe that the minister should either get active or be removed. I haven't specifically brought it up because it is so close to the end of the term now. I don't see the point in it. Um, and he has actually started turning up to the Shannon finally, but
but has he done anything in his capacity as a minister?
I could not tell you because I don't really do anything in the justice sector. But with
I can tell you,
the,
and I haven't seen anything noticeable.
I will
I
say on
think
your
the only thing
point,
I've seen is a real denigration in the value of a bar certificate. They're just giving it out to any Tom,
yeah,
Dick,
I
and Harry
will.
these days.
I haven't looked at the examination. I haven't taken it, but I think from you are a very reputable source for me for considering justice news and everything. So
Oh,
I mean,
amazing.
I would assume you'd be right in that. I'd hope. Um,
Well, I remember the first time I corrected Andrew's bar. Oh my god, it was shocking. I think he got like 100 points and he did 180 to pass. It's like 75% to pass, and this time he's passed. And I'm involved in a case against him, not against him, but he's representing the person who's against the person that I'm representing. And I think
what is
there's
this
a
case?
real knowledge gap that's going on. It's the Ireland's taxis versus the League of Ireland. It was opened 8 days ago, and the judge hasn't gotten round to
Oh.
starting proceedings. Um, so
Oh,
we just have to wait.
we've had Noah, one of the contestants for the Social Democrats leadership, enter the chamber. We also have.
Oh, okay, yeah, you were the Cathaoirleach. You're nothing now. Who is going for that leadership,
Actually, I'm still
or
on
has
the
it been
National
announced? Or
Executive Commission and committee.
perfect, you
Yes,
can give us some inside
I can quickly
secrets.
give the nominations have already been announced. We have Epic Noah 1358 running for Social Democrats leadership. He's the current deputy leader, and I'd say has worked very closely with Oscar from what I've seen, and Oscar has also endorsed him. But we also have on the other side the underdog Australia 0513 who came over from Labour earlier in the term. He is also running for Social Democrats leadership, and
He's in chat as well, or he's in the voice chat as well. I don't know if he has a mic, but
if
maybe he
you'd like
wants to
to
come
come
up
up
and
and
say a
talk
few
about,
words.
yeah.
Is that all? Is there anyone else? While we're waiting for.
Again, confidence motion. I'm not sure what they're voting on. Hold on,
Who do you think's going to win?
I'll quickly invite him. Um, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say on RTE, but I would definitely. I think Noah's going to win. I'll be voting.
And do you
I'm
think
voting
that
for
he
Noah,
can?
so
Oh, do you think he can pull the same amount of votes that Oscar has?
I told him. I told him that he shouldn't be looking to be another Oscar. He should be his own leader, and I think that if he does try, I think he can pull similar numbers. But I think the Social Democrats will now need to try and cement themselves as not the Oscar O'Sullivan Party, but the Social Democrat Party. Not just because not just because Oscar's a good leader, but in fact we just have good people in the Social Democrats. So we just have to kind of see. I think
Who are these good people?
we
Because we've
have
talked
a
about
lot
the Social
of.
Democrat minister, and I think we've agreed that we're not very impressed with them.
We have had a lot of former people who've done quite a lot in the community. I mean, notably Wilberforce, he has done quite a lot in the community. He's been Labour TD for quite a while.
Oh, the only
Um,
thing he has done has been dramatically resigning 4 times only to turn up the next day.
But he's a very
Um,
vocal person. I would also say we used to
he
have quite a
surely
lot of
has
people at
his
least.
tepid
Victoria,
opinions.
I think Victoria's still a very strong social democrat. Like she's been social democrats for ages, I think. Um, or at least until she became Cahirloch. But she recently served as a TD, but she's been bouncing in and out. Sometimes she is, sometimes she isn't. But she
Will they
has.
adjourn?
Oh,
Did the Freedom of Information bill pass? I'm gonna have to ask in chat.
the none of the bills.
Really? They're still on. They were still on the
They've adjourned.
uh
There is no bills. No bills got passed.
at Jung at. I'm gonna ask in the Oireachtas staff chat. Well, I don't think we're going to be having a Shanaton.
I mean, if nothing got voted on, I don't. Apparently, the motion of confidence debate wasn't concluded, so it won't be. It won't be
Oh
voted
my
on.
god. um. Okay, so nothing happened this Dole session. They voted. They were debating and motioning for 45 minutes on what to do, and in the end,
I think the confidence in the Oireachtas is going to go far, far down after what we've just seen today. I'm.
oh, Jesse's. I asked Jessie for confirmation if freedom of information happened or was passed, and she said, "Fucked if I know. That was a shambles." Quote that on the news, please.
Um. I don't know. I don't think there'll be a Shannon. I mean, unless we can quickly arrange someone who wants to ask questions. I mean, what's his
Oh,
name?
Leah's claim that you're misleading the public.
Oh, Leah.
That's a
Oh,
bold
sorry, I didn't. I
assertion.
didn't
That's
actually
open to
see.
libel.
Okay, I'll let you on. I'll let you up on right now. I'll happily hear what you have to say, and then I'll also hear Bo afterwards.
Oh, we don't want to hear Bo.
Right. What's happened? Can you tell
So I
us?
want to explain because woke RTE is in the public. So what just happened was we came in, first item on the agenda, the ministerial order on the business purge that was revoked from the agenda. So that was not debated on. We then moved to the motion of confidence in the government. That we heard statements from Deputy Oswald and the Taoiseach, and then it went into chaos. We had Brian O'Kearney up and about, jumping around, screaming things, liar. You know, there was a lot of standing order violations, so we had that, and that's why it was dragged on for so long. And then just before we were going to start finishing up debate, we received a motion to adjourn. We received a motion to suspend, and we were basically back and forth with these hundreds of motions before we were able to finish debate and move to the Discord voting on the motion of confidence. So there was all of that, all whatever the hell that was, by the deputies, and then we received a motion to adjourn by the government with the second. So we voted on that, and it was passed. So we adjourned, and now what's going to happen is all of the business from today, because there was nothing passed. Nothing passed. There was a small 10-minute debate on and the confidence motion.
I see. So why should we believe that there still should be confidence in the Oireachtas after not even the motion of confidence will now not be debated, voted on?
You shouldn't. You should have zero confidence in the politics of this country anymore.
Also, I think this raises a very serious concern because the duel isn't allowed to adjourn. I don't quote me on this, please correct me, but I don't believe the duel is allowed to adjourn whilst the motion of confidence is being debated.
Okay, but that's just not true.
I I think it's someone
You're
that's.
just lying.
Okay, I'm going to quickly review the standing orders. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. But if that's not in
Woke
there, I would say
RTE.
that's also a very big concern. Um, I know is
I'm
in.
pretty sure no business can be concluded until the question is put.
And the question is not going to be put, so. I think the Oireachtas staff has a bit to think about there. I will bring up Bo in just a moment, but we have Epic Noah here. We weren't able to hear much from him regarding his bid for leadership. So now maybe we'll get a chance if he wants to come up. Oh no, he doesn't want to come up. Okay, we'll bring up Bo then.
Oh no! Oh fuck.
Right.
Hey.
Hello, Bo.
Hey.
I mean, that's what on earth happened in the duel, according to you?
I really don't know what happened today. It was a bit, it was chaotic. The Green Party, we remained our composure. We were quite silent during the debate because I was writing actually what I was going to say during the debate in the chamber, and as I was writing down on my notepad, I tried to speak. I don't know what happened, and then we adjourned. But I think what we need to remind the other opposition parties is when we start insulting other parties, including the Social Democrats and Labour, just because we disagree with them, we automatically lose the argument. I think what we need to do is we need to call out Labour, but in a respectable way, like the Green Party has been doing. We have not been calling them liars, physical liars. They are misleading. They may be misleading, but they are not liars. They generate broad answers just so that they can so-called answer the questions. They don't answer the questions, but we need to hold them no matter what until the end to account. And if we start insulting them and stooping to their low level of disruption and like chaos, we won't win. And that's what we're really focused on in the Green Party right now. Sorry, I just felt like really positive saying that.
Well, I mean, actually, I will say we have actually gotten confirmation of who's going to be running in the Social Democrats' leadership. I think this is something that's very important. I'm not just bringing it up because in the Social Democrats, but also because the Social Democrats, they are currently in government, they're the largest party. So I believe it's quite important we discuss about them. So Epic Noah and Australia have both entered into the race to become leader. Do you think you'd form a coalition with any of them if they came into power? Would you prefer one over the other?
Well, can I just point out it's quite hypocrisy coming from you, because when the Green Party was the largest party in the duel and was in government, you in fact did not cover the leadership election when I became the.
I wasn't even informed it happened. I didn't have access to the media channel or anything, so I apologise for that.
Because I think you're highlighting this because of your partisan with the Social Democrats. But on the topic, I would not coalition with either of the leaders. I do want John Australia to win. I don't want Noah to win. We can't have someone like Oscar coming back into power. Oscar has ruined this country, and I'm sure Oscar's been supporting Noah throughout his leadership campaign. So time can tell, but Noah is not a viable option for Ireland. And, he frankly needs to go. I would say that if the Green Party was to endorse...
Yeah, and you go as well because of your incompetency, and guess what? They voted you out.
Noah's here. Noah's here.
I was never voted out by the Green Party. But anyway...
You were voted out of office last election, so I would shut your mouth if I were you before you start talking to other people's
Can we just
issues.
talk about the last election? Brian O'Kearney led the Social Democrats, and what we saw was a bigger voting. We saw more people voting in the election, and I'm not surprised that the Green Party did so poorly in the election because we are the smallest party. We are one of the.
But why are you the smallest party? That's.
I think it's because we are one of the newest parties. We haven't had a strong history.
But you were you were the largest party in the previous government.
That is because the vote of the last election was so small. Not as many people voted in the last election as they voted in the most recent election, and that is proven. We may have lost a few, but we still held a lot of the voters that voted previously.
Before
But
before we continue, I just have a statement quickly from a Social Democrat TD, who said, as former Cahirloch of the Green Party who defected to the Social Democrats after poor leadership, I would like to commend the Green Party for their performance during the sitting of the Dáil. It's no doubt to anyone that today's sitting was nothing but hell. It was actually good to see the Green Party maintaining order. From Jackie R. Westbrook, Social Democrat TD.
no offense, why is she commenting on my party? Why doesn't she worry about her own party? She needs to worry about electing a new leader and leave my party alone. She's been freakishly DMing me recently. She
Any leader that's elected in the Social Democrats, whether it be me or Australia, they would make a better leader than you. That's
and
fact.
that's not true
But
because
why would you be a better leader, Noah? Why should people vote for you?
he's not.
What?
I've met
Okay, you're saying
Australia.
I'm not. Go on. Hang on.
I've met
You're saying
Australia.
I wouldn't be a better leader. Go on. Explain. How would I
Well,
not be a better leader?
no offense, but Australia has actual leadership of leading a country. He was Chief Minister of Jersey. From what I know, you've done nothing. You've done nothing.
And
All you do is
and
bitch and complain. All you do is attack and divide. Whereas
that's literally what you're doing right now. Why?
Australia,
Stop being hypocritical here.
sorry, I'm not the one being aggressive. You're the one being aggressive.
I'm not.
Right,
I'm
can
simply finding funny
can
how
we bring order
Again,
you're
again? Can we
criticizing
bring?
the Social
Can I-
Democrats,
Hold on,
and yet
Noah,
here you are sitting and
pause.
bitching.
Noah,
maybe
Bo
no
as
one.
well, Bo as well. I would like to hear from Noah, why should people vote for you as Social Democrats leader instead, for the Social Democrats instead of Bo as the Green Party?
Because I actually have experience of being in this community for quite a long time. Actually, I know. Well, I've been through. Well, I wouldn't say I've been through, but I've seen everything that's happened in this community, and quite frankly, what the role of Taoiseach needs is someone with experience and leadership to tackle the issues that we face head on. And so I believe that's why I should be voted in.
What issues does Ireland face right now that you can see, and why hasn't your government resolved them in this term?
I don't think he can
I
answer.
see. Okay.
Anyway, can I just get back to my point?
Of course.
If the Green Party would endorse a candidate for Social Democrats, we would definitely endorse Australia. I know him personally when I sat in the House of Commons. We were in a coalition government when he was an MP and I was a cabinet minister. But I know he's got the leadership because he's led a successful country of Jersey to great things. It's a well-respected country. And he's shown strong leadership and what it can look like. I'm afraid Noah's just been talking about how long he's been here. That just shows how desperate he is for Taoiseach. It's a bit like you're so desperate. He's been in this community for many years, Noah, and secretly he does want to be Taoiseach. He's just been plotting his way. He's been like Oscar, watching how people behave, observing them, and he's going to deliver a plan for the West. It's going to cripple Ireland. What Oscar and the Social Democrats have done it's chaos. And I'm a bit frustrated from the opposition parties and the government for not allowing me or my party members to speak. I think it's because they don't respect me because I have 2 seats in the Dáil. Sorry, over 15 people voted for me. I think more than one person voted for me, so I was elected. I was the only elected. Like Noah wasn't elected by the people. Oscar was elected by the people. So Oscar chose who he wanted to give that seat, and he gave it to Noah because Noah's desperate for Taoiseach, and Oscar's realised that, and he's probably going to stoop around in the Social Democrats for a little bit longer.
So I assume it's safe to say you will not be coalitioning with Noah. However, what about Australia? You noted a particular fondness to him. Do you think you'd form a coalition with him?
No, because I think the Social Democrats need to be in opposition. I think they need to be in opposition for what they've done. The Social Democrats could have been a good party, maybe if Oscar didn't win and someone else won. But I believe that the Social Democrats need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, why did I not create a program for government in Irish when I said I would, and I criticised the last government for not doing that. But
Sorry, that I. You've told the Social Democrats to look at themselves in a mirror and ask them why they haven't created a BFG in Irish.
I was just going to list a bunch of issues where
Oh,
they've
okay.
gone wrong. Why haven't I worked with the NAS to make engagement grow? Why haven't I done something else with? Why haven't I apologised to Gibraltar for the insults and the vile language that they've been using whilst they've been representing Ireland? You know, that's what they need to look at. But this could be my last election that I run for Taoiseach. I think that, you know, politics in this game is toxic. I don't support any of the parties if they're going to constantly attack and ridicule me and my party. We are an elected party in the Dáil. We need to be respected. I've respected them. I've called out when my voice and the voice of the people that elected me aren't being heard. And I've been striked for it unjustly by the Cian Caller. So what I need is Leah to resign. I need Oscar to resign, which he's already doing. And I hope that Noah thinks about and withdraws his candidacy from the Social Democrat leadership.
Well, you have said this is going to be the final time you will run for Taoiseach, correct?
It may
Maybe.
be.
So, do you have anyone who you're planning to fill your shoes? Who's your currently deputy leader?
My deputy leader actually resigned, so it's vacant. But I think the Green Party might take a global stance. Maybe we could get a co-leader. But until, yeah, the Green Party is really it's a really nice home. You know, a lot of us are friends in the Green Party. It's going to be sad if I do leave as my final term.
Was Jackie your friend in the Green Party?
No. She was a friend, and then she got salty because she didn't actually do anything with the campaigning, and then she wondered why we lost. Yeah, and she was desperate about another country instead of Ireland.
Oh shit! I have to get to the Shannon. Fuck's sake.
There's no sitting today.
No, there is.
There is, because Daniel decided he wanted to call the fucking Taoiseach here for some reason.
Oh.
Because I want the Shannon to meet. It's a nice chamber.
Maybe hold on. Maybe Oscar can actually ask multiple questions this time, not just one.
No, people ask multiple questions to Oscar.
They did.
There
multiple
isn't
questions
quorum. There isn't quorum, so I think we have to wait a few minutes. And if quorum still isn't met, then don't meet.
Dan, the truth is that Oscar only answered one question, and then quorum was lost, and then he decided to make a political
That is true.
post.
I'm not going to deny that.
It's time for the Social Democrats to stop reposting from their own personal Twitter, because, you know, it's just boosting their egos and they're not actually doing much for the community. You know, look at our games. They're struggling. You know, Monaghan is inactive. We can't even sustain it. We can't even sustain it. So I think we really need to look at ourselves, and I hope my successor of the Green Party can do that, hopefully.
So, I mean, I think this is very big news. We just had someone say this could be their final, very big figure in Irish politics, say that they're going to be resigning soon, apparently. So, I think, do you like the direction Ireland is going in? What is one thing that you say needs to change, and do you think you'd be able to bring it?
Government. I think Ireland is in a poor direction. I think group staff are poor. I think everything of Ireland is poor right now. But what we need is a change of government. Only then they can address it. But you know, we won't be seeing a change of government at this rate, because, you know, everyone follows for the SD shallow promises. Shame, really.
I mean, hold on, I forget. Yeah, right. So, unfortunately, we have lost our representative for the Social Democrats, but I would ask why, what was the Green Party been doing to actually tackle the Social Democrats' inactivity, the supposed inactivity of the Social Democrats in government?
Well, week on week, we ask the government questions. They deflect the questions. They don't answer the questions. Then, when I proposed a bill, it was a good bill, and we passed. It was not passed by the government. They criticised the bill because it was a much better bill than what they could propose. And we were going to host a rally yesterday, but unfortunately, due to national events where I live, I had to cancel. But I will probably reschedule it for another day so it suits other
Yeah,
people's timelines,
definitely.
time zones.
Well, I'm just considering other things right now. So, do you see a possibility where in the next election you are the Taoiseach, and why should people elect you to be Taoiseach?
I don't think I would be Taoiseach. I don't think I would even form a government. But
Are you
it's the,
campaigning to be in opposition?
no, I think we're going to campaign to get as many seats as possible. But I don't think. I think people see me as someone like, and not as an alternative vote. I think they just see me as someone that just sits there. And I think it's because, there's a lot of misleading comments from other parties on me. They see me as some unprofessional lady, but, I'm always asking questions. I'm always holding the government account. And, I've been calling out the government today within the Dáil on their activity because, no offense to the staff within the Dáil, they've been getting it wrong a few times. So I've addressed issues, and I frequently look at myself and say, what can I do better to hold this government to account? And I ask more problems, and they just don't answer it. But what the Green Party is clear on is building a manifesto and a policy collective that focuses on the real issues within Ireland and aims to tackle them, or at least solve them.
So you have, you know your
Daniel, please, the anthem's
sorry, I forgot.
please. It might not mean much to you, but it means much to actual
No, I completely
Irish
forgot.
people.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Right, so the Shannon is now actually meeting. After we're unsure if quorum was actually going to be met.
You think I wanna be with Right, hold on. Let me get my Shanadier.
Victoria, do you wanna?
I can do it.
Okay, take the stage.
Right. Welcome everyone. You're here with Seferine, aka former Taoiseach and Green incumbent party leader, maybe. Currently within the upper chamber, we're seeing questions to Taoiseach Oscar O'Sullivan, former leader of the Social Democrats. I believe Emperor is an independent. He is an independent senador
Yeah,
from the.
presidential.
Well, thank you, Social Democrat candidate, for supporting me. It's a great man.
Daniel, I think if you keep this woman talking, we're going to lose all the viewership.
Right. Anyways,
Victoria, do you want to present?
No, I'm doing it. Anyways, the
If she
senador
wants, the office there.
the senador asked the Taoiseach
Hello.
tonight's appalling behaviour in the Dáil. Hey,
Hello.
Victoria.
Hello.
We can switch
Victoria's
questions.
up here, so you can put Bo down.
Right. I do have to say I'm currently operating a train right now, so I have to kind of multitask here.
I'll keep Bar up here, but just
Well, no, she's just been
no,
banned,
no,
so
let
she can't
That-
really talk.
let Victoria take the stage, but I'm happy for you to add on your little points. Anyway, continue.
I mean, okay, right. So it appears that you guys, the channel is questioning the T-shirt currently. Is that right? I'm not even there.
The teacher
You can watch the
just told the Shanador
you can watch the
working with
stream.
other party leaders, working with other party leaders, that a common understanding can be built. That is a great phrase to say in response to that question. There was a lot of chaos earlier. I'm sure a lot of people saw it. It wasn't planned. It looks like it was a drama, but it wasn't planned. And
Right.
the T-shirt reassures the Shanador that he will bring it up in the party leader discussion channel. Any more questions? Oh, the Social Democrat Shanador, Dan and Puppy Dab is now speaking. He asks about justice. Oh, would he be able to? So he asks about the activity of the judiciary. So the Taoiseach will now give a lengthy response, I'm sure, to this question, as it was quite a long question, especially with the context that was put before. I do believe that the Justice Minister was on holiday at the start of the term, but week 3, his activity
I just want to
has
say
been.
him being on holiday is allegedly. It's alleged.
Well, that's not what
And he's
the.
also not on holiday anymore, and he's still missing. He's MIA.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
also
completely
alleged.
fair.
That's also alleged. Yeah, whatever.
No,
The government. He says that the government has made strides in regards to the.
I don't think it has relaunched Guardian Spectra. I haven't seen that.
I swear you're
Oh,
meant.
so they're saying they relaunched it, but they're actually going to be launching it this weekend. I'm sure they are. It's already the weekend. What's happening? We repealed the.
I swear you're an
consent.
independent. So he's talking about how he repealed a certain act.
That we weaponized. What?
I think
What is
that's
he attempting
because
to weaponizing?
I
According
think
to the presenter himself. That mean? I've no idea what that means.
that's because we're going to war. And he also highlights how he signed the May agreement with Gibraltar, which was a transfer agreement of the bar exam. I'm sure the Taoiseach asked and said many things to Gibraltar, but there's a 5-letter word starting with S and ending with Y that he probably should have said. Is it too late? Is it too
What?
late?
Slushy? DOJE report tomorrow.
And he talks about how the cabinet reports will be coming out tomorrow, which is quite similar to, it's quite transparent. But
Door for what's done it? Roscommon.
so, Victoria, can you tell us about what the Taoiseach in the upper chamber means today.
Well, it is quite significant if the Taoiseach is being summoned to the Senate. If I recall
I think
correctly,
you aren't the
only
one to say what's significant and what's not on the Shannon, because for you, the Shannon meeting was significant.
right Sunday. Shut up and do your job.
I am doing my job.
For
Yeah, sure.
context,
But
activity
like,
at the time was extremely low. I do remember only attending one session of the Shannon, and then I became a TD. But carry on, Victoria. Right.
Waiting on some of us to.
I think the parties we're waiting for is FG and FF. I believe.
No, FF is here.
Well,
And FG is here as well. That's Donica.
then it's Labour. It's Labour that we're waiting for.
It's actually Labour and the Social Democrats they're waiting.
The next station.
How ironic.
I'm in the server, Daniel. Me and Bill were in the server.
I am
Your party leader said that you're not important enough to be there. Daniel, you've been called. Come on. Stop
So
faffing about.
the Shenador from Limerick is asking a follow-up question. I would hope it's something about dress
Limerick.
code. If you look at these lovely Shenadori, they're all wearing lovely outfits, and then you just see the scruff bag with the dog. Oh no, I'm not saying this question. I'm not-
in regards
and
to
if you
business,
look at the
should we
back,
say.
you've got our lovely. You've got lovely portraits of people. I do believe one is David and one is Victoria.
Junction, Forestdale, Aston, Hugheath, and Norrington. This train is formed of 8.
It wasn't a bill, I don't think. I think it was an order, a ministerial order.
The train now standing at
oh my
platform
god.
3 is the 2160.
We are about to hit 9:15, and 3 questions have been asked. Oh, no, 4 questions are about to be asked. Maybe the Taoiseach can talk about how he's answered 4 questions, more than he answered last time. 3 times as much. So the Shanador says, is this still going ahead? And if so, does this mean for what? And what does this mean for our businesses? I can't see the rest of the question because he just turned around. But
You probably support that, don't you, you little SD?
well, I'm pretty sure they've already they've deregistered that before because they deregistered 3 of my businesses. So I can still have my businesses, but I don't have a Discord server for them. The Social Democrats are all about Discord servers. They probably even have a Discord server for their Oireachtas team. With a large. I'm sorry, you can't fit 10 people in a group chat. Anyway. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna see more questions be asked. I think this might be the 4th and final question. Going once, going twice. Oh no. And we're moving on. Oh, hold on.
Shannon.
A Shanador stood up. Whoever could it be? State your name and number. Victoria,
This is
please.
the Shanador for Fine Gael, and Roscommon, if you're wondering.
Yeah. Victoria, please turn your sound off. Due to the resigning as SD leader, do you now lead the government in a caretaker capacity? Question mark.
I think so.
This is a really important question. By Fine Gael. It could be a bit spicy because there is tension still lacking between the two parties over a coalition that was devised to get into government. Both of them wanted to be into government, and they don't really care about who they were going to work with. Some of the people in the
I'm just
Oireachtas.
gonna quickly say, considering the questions haven't been read out on the stream, basically a question was just asked to Taoiseach. Does he actually have the
I
whip and the ability to be able to continue leading as Taoiseach even though he's resigned?
literally just said that, but okay.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry, I didn't hear that.
Well, doing me dirty again. Not the first time. So the Taoiseach has had one term as Taoiseach. He's been party leader for 2 terms. So he's had senior roles within the Dáil both of these terms. He was the leader of the third largest party. Then he became the leader of the opposition after Fianna Fáil and the Green Party formed a coalition. And then he formed a coalition with Fine Gael. Oh, and he's gone. He's
just disconnected. Oh dear.
I fear he's in the North Atlantic Sea at the moment. Maybe he's going to, yeah. Oh, and the Shanador for Roscommon has just said that his question killed the Taoiseach.
That's very serious. I believe that will be taken to the highest court of the land.
Maybe it's because he couldn't answer his question.
I believe he had a question he had an answer being cooked up.
He couldn't catch the second part.
And he was reminded of it.
And then, he disconnected. I love the decoration within this chamber. The curtains are just so elegant.
I love each chair has the island. I can't remember what it's called. I think.
Oh my god! You can see the sweat patch on Jeremy's chair that someone else is sitting in. God.
he apparently made the It was said on the last stream that he made the chair darker to make sure no one would sit down in it. But yeah, I do quite like this chamber. We've even got a fireplace in
Oh my
here.
god! Go up! It's Reba. No, turn around. The other way.
What?
Are the portraits?
Oh.
Reba, hello Reba. Reba is the former.
Is that this one?
Yeah, Reba is the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Yeah, first and female, only female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Wait, the Soviet UK.
Soviet UK's only ever had one female Prime Minister, and I was actually a part of her party when she was leader. I was a candidate.
That is somewhat concerning.
Yeah, they had a female deputy prime minister, Sunnessence, for 2 days, and then she resigned.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna see motion to adjourn. They're motioning to adjourn. It looks like the Taoiseach has supposedly messaged the chair. He cannot return. Maybe that's due to his flight. I do hear he's going to meet the Prime Minister of Brunei. Maybe he's going to meet the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan. He could be anywhere.
Right,
Or maybe he's
so thank you.
with wife and
Bo,
kid.
any closing remarks there, quickly?
It's been a good day within the upper chamber. You know, the lower chamber, they need to
Yeah.
work on it.
Thank
But
you.
been
Thank you, Bo, for coming up there and presenting for that portion. Mr. Sunday, do you have anything else to say?
No.
Anyway, right, so that is all we have time for today, or that's all that's going to happen today. And just to give a quick summary, we had emotional confidence raised in the duel, and it's now being debated whether it will actually pass or not. So, we have to go and, well, no, if it'll actually be done at all, because apparently it's not going to get voted on. But I hope you all, I don't think there's anything else to say, so I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night, evening, sorry. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and good night.